There's a verse in the Torah that can be found in the book of Bereshit, chapter 49, verse 14, and it says, Issachar chamor garim. Issachar is a bondy donkey lying between the boundaries, and it's kind of talking about that Issachar was a donkey, which doesn't sound so good. But after all, Issachar was the one who was carrying the flag of the Torah. Issachar was the tribe that all the scholars came out from. Well, not all, but the majority. Comes a big question, how could it be that Issachar became the symbol of carrying the Torah? So, we all have a certain thing that we like. Some people don't have them, they're lucky, but most people, they like to sleep. You know, because sleep causes you pleasure. Disconnect yourself from reality, you can be lazy, whatever it is. Listen, not everybody has this problem, but the majority have a problem with, they like sleeping. And the reason why? Because there's this pleasure in sleeping. Our sages explain, why is it pleasurable? Because sleeping is 60th of a death. And you experience a certain level of death, which death sounds bad, but really death is your portal to the next world. And the next world is a much more pleasurable world if you're going in the right path. So 60th of a death, which is sleep, you're experiencing some type of a olam haba. So it's pleasurable. And scientists and doctors will tell you a certain endorphin is released in the brain when you sleep, and it causes you a pleasure. But nevertheless, a lot of people, they have a yetzirah and they like sleeping in. And they like sleeping. Now, this is something that needs to be broken, by the way. Many sages, they teach you, break your sleep. Don't sleep in. Wake up early on purpose. Sleep whatever you need to sleep and kind of put your body under this stress that you break your sleep. The Baal Sulam was known to do that deliberately. He was a very sick man at the end of his days, and he would specifically wake up early in the night, 2 or 3 in the morning, stay up for half an hour, and then go back to sleep. Why? To break the sleep, to break this physical pleasure. A huge part of my tshuva is to get rid of physical pleasures. You like cookies? Don't eat 5 of them every hour. Eat 1 of them once a week. I also like cookies, by the way. And at 4 o'clock in the morning, when you wake up and you go to the mikveh, I have a bakery here. Oh, you smell these rogolachs. Oh, you don't know if to go to the mikveh or to go to the bakery. But listen, I also like physical pleasures. I'm not some alien. But you have to put yourself on a diet. I like physical pleasures too. But you have to diminish the physical pleasures, because that's how you elevate yourself to a much higher spiritual level. And it doesn't mean you shouldn't have these spiritual pleasures, but do it on Shabbat. You want cookies? You want yummy stuff? Enjoy it on Shabbat, because then it's a mitzvah. You like to sleep in? Sleep on Shabbat a little bit. You like marital relations? Everybody likes marital relations. But have it on Shabbat. Elevate it. Make it holy. Don't all day long. When you run after physical pleasures, it pulls you down. So another big part of physical pleasure is sleeping. It says that why was Issachar got the siman of the Torah? Because it says as follows. He saw a resting place, that it was good, and the land was pleasant, and he bent his shoulder to bear burdens. He saw, wait a minute, this is a place where I can relax and have fun? No, I'm going to put burden on me. This is the quality of Issachar. And therefore, he became the pillar of carrying the Torah. Now comes a big question in the commentary, why is he calling him a donkey? Should have told him a horse. Horses are much stronger than donkeys. He can carry much more weight than a donkey. So our sages explain something brilliant. You're right, horses are stronger. An ox is stronger. But you know what's the virtue and the advantage of a donkey? A horse, when it needs to rest, it can't rest with the weight on it. It has to take the weight off, and then the horse rests. A donkey can rest while the burden is on him. You don't have to unload the weight from the donkey. And that's the same thing with the Torah. You can rest, but as long as the Torah is on you. As long as you don't take the Torah off, you can carry the burden. The problem with many people is that they take the Torah off. No, I don't want to do the Torah. I go on a vacation. During vacation, I don't need to pray or worry about learning Torah. What kind of vacation is that? You're totally taking a vacation from the Torah. There's nothing wrong with resting, but as long as the Torah is on you. So, sleeping is where you find some type of, what it says about Yisachar, a comfortable land. Hey, it's comfortable here. I can sleep now for 12 hours. What's wrong with that? I'm not bothering anybody. I'm evenly eating less. I'm not going to talk Lashon Hara. I mean, there's all sorts of twists so a person can say, hey, if I'm sleeping, I'm not bothering anybody. I'm not harming anybody. You know, when I became observant, it was impossible for me to observe Shabbat. You know what I used to do? I used to sleep the entire Shabbat. I found a loophole. I'll sleep the most Shabbat. Then I don't drive. I don't turn on the TV. I'm not desecrating Shabbat. And I would sleep 16 hours, 18 hours throughout the entire, my first Yom Kippur, that's what I did. I slept throughout the entire Yom Kippur. I was like, okay, I'm not going to drive, not going to eat, not going to do anything. I woke up an hour before the end of Yom Kippur, went to here, Tzilat Nila. And that's it. I marked my first Yom Kippur in history. And also, of course, that's not the way. But many people say, let me go into some type of a hibernation. So the point with Yisachar that he says, I see where it becomes too comfortable, so I would load more load on me. So you need to see where it becomes comfortable, pleasuring on food, pleasuring on wining and dining, pleasuring on going to sleep. That's a big thing. So you want to take from that break your sleep. Don't indulge too much on the sleep. So if you need to sleep 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours, set it up how you need to, but don't oversleep. And the best way, you want to take it to the next level, break the sleep in the middle. Wake up in the middle. Why? Because it don't give too much pleasure to the body. When the body starts indulging too much on sleeping. Listen, sleeping is indulging. You're cuddled in your blanket and you don't have to think of anything, no worries, no distractions. Therefore, our sages say a big part of the tshuva, don't get too comfortable. Constantly put the burden of the Torah on your shoulders. Even when you rest, don't ever take the Torah off. Why? As I told you, the donkey can carry the weight on him. And a person that carries the Torah on him doesn't rest. You can rest, but don't take off the Torah. Here we want to concentrate on the sleep. Don't feed too much pleasure to the body, especially with the sleep. You'll see that you're going to become like an Yisachar, carrying the burden of the Torah with no problem. And therefore that allows you to really focus on a much higher level in tshuva, that you're focusing on the needs of your soul and not the needs of your body.